horizontal. Again, I'm going to target the same targets I had the last time. And then I simply hit enter to release. And then as I turn it, it's counting. And then I simply read the display and it says 54 degrees, 26 minutes, 54 seconds. Now I want to hold that angle, so I go to Menu, 1, enter the hold. Now my 54, 26, 55, or whatever it is in there. I unlock the vertical, flip the scope over, unlock the horizontal. I go back to my backside. I need to reach around, I hit enter to release. And I turn to my second target again. This will be my reverse angle. This is 108, 54, 01, or 02. This instrument, I have a tendency to flash 1 or 2 seconds one way or another. It's actually a 5-second instrument, so what it's doing is trying to average itself. So I would take this reverse angle 108, 54, 01, or 02, divide that by 2, and I should come back to my original angle, or close. This is a 5-second instrument, so by averaging, we should be able to get a quality of horizontal angle less than 5 seconds. Now we're going to do a distance. And if I do a distance, I'll have to set up a prism. And anytime I use a prism pole without the aid of a tripod or a bipod, I've got a plummet level here, and trying to hold that perfectly level in an exaggerated form, if I'm this way, forward, back, or any combination out of level, at the moment that the operator hits the distance button or makes his observation, my angles and my distances are obviously going to be off. And if I try to sit here and hold this long enough, I can actually see my heartbeat. So to help alleviate, 90% of the distance and angle error is going to be on the prism end, not the tripod with the total station on it. It's pretty stable. So we're going to create a tripod utilizing simply 2 lath. So I stick one out in this direction, and one in this direction, and then I let my grip be loose until I can get it level, and then I squeeze. Now the prism stays pretty stable. Okay, so this is a technique that I use if I don't have some kind of support system for the pole. I create a support system with lath. I call it my kickstand method. So now we're going to shoot a distance with a prism. I'm going to target that prism with my optical sight, lock the vertical and the horizontal, and I'm going to look through the scope, and I'm going to adjust my focus, and I'm going to place my crosshair dead center in the prism. Once I'm in position and I've got my crosshair centered on the prism, I simply hit the distance button. Now this instrument just took several hundred shots and did some averaging in just about 1 or 2 seconds, and it tells me that the distance, horizontal distance now, not slope distance, is 13.037 feet. And it gives me a vertical distance, which means that prism is 0.402. It's a minus 0.4 feet. And that means if it's a minus number, the prism is 4/10 of a foot below the center line axis of my gun. So with this instrument, if I set up certain parameters in the configuration, it'll actually compute 3D coordinates for me. It'll give me an X, a Y, a northing and an easting, as well as an elevation. Nice thing about a total station. However, we never want to trust the elevation of a total station for any kind of precise level work. That's why the manufacturers still manufacture and sell power levels and auto levels. The reliability of its processor to produce that third dimension coordinate, the elevation, is not as precise as we can get with leveling instruments. So if I'm doing earthwork and I need my elevations plus or minus a tenth of a foot, the total station will do that pretty good. If I'm setting concrete forms down to a hundredth of a foot, I need to use the appropriate instrument, and that is not the total station. I need to use an auto level for grade. Horizontally though, this will produce very accurate coordinates and do a fine job for you. So that's about it for the total station. This is just some of the features, very few of the total capability of the instrument. That's about it. To shut this off, we simply hold two buttons simultaneously, hold them in, it shuts down. I can remove the battery, put it back on charge, store the instrument.